Yes,
your
we are,
assessment. Yeah.
yes, we are regular employees. Which is why we say na if there are available regular positions, priority dapat yung regular employees. And this is one thing na PLDT is not saying. There are a lot of vacant positions because there are at least 10,000 line workers in the line work which are contractual employees holding regular positions. Ito yung sinasabi namin, maliit lang yung 575 dun sa 10,000 positions na yun. But PLDT...
So it's cheaper maybe to pay contractual.
That's the point, ma'am.
Parang maraming kumpanyang gumagawa ng ganun. Good governance pa yun?
I don't think that is. It does not conform with their corporate social responsibility. Because if we will try to know the real meaning of corporate social responsibility, the word social comes from the to share, the Latin word to share. And ang pag-share because hindi naman nila hindi man na sila namamalimos eh. Napakaganda na sana. And dun sa teaching the man to fish, nagagawa ng mga corporations. The problem is, when there's the catch, a minute part of the catch goes to the workers. Okay na, hindi na rin kami aangal doon. Kahit na minute part, masakit. Pag kumita pa, lalo pa kami tinatanggal.
Segue naman tayo sa public sector. Danayin natin si Professor. Itong word to share, no? Sabi niyo, social responsibility comes from the word
Sociere.
sociere. I learned that tonight. Sociere, meaning to share.
To share.
Yun atang pinag-awayan ng mga involved dito sa CTE deal, yung sharing nila. I think some people shared more than others. Professor, you've been following this. You've been calling my show. Tama ba si Miriam nung sinabi niyang wala naman tayong pinag-aawayan dito, kundi yung ano ba yung sinabi?
Kickback.
Yung partihan, di ba? Away ito ng kickback. Professor, your comments on that.
I absolutely agree with Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. I really do find Senator Santiago really feisty. But for the first time, I do agree with her. Because come to think of it, kaya nagwawala itong mga ito. Because they did not get the share of the loot. I abide by one powerful statement, attorney. The only way for evil to thrive is for good men to do nothing. And that's why we all play a very important and pivotal role in this country. I tell my students, if you want to be considered a great communicator, say it as it is. This country is going down the drain, and there's no other way to say it. And we've got to do something about it.
Hindi ba sa Senado, sa mga question and answer nila, lumalabas yung kanilang communication skills, di ba? Pagalingan ng tanong.
You know what I noticed in this country, attorney? The country, the Philippines, is full of great English speakers. But rarely do you find great communicators. There is a big difference between speaking good English and being a great communicator. No wonder our country is down the drain. Because pagalingan sa Ingles, pagalingan sa forma, pero they don't have the heart for the people.
Maybe they don't mean what they say.
Exactly.
Well, I'm not a communicator myself. I mean, I don't teach communication, but the key to a good communicator is to mean what you say. Di ba, Inday?
Exactly.
Inday, you've
First
been...
and foremost.
Yes. Inday has been one of the best communicators I've seen. As a matter of fact, you're very involved with the United Nations before, right?
Ang ano kasi ang style at saka yung what I think more important than how you say it is what you say.
Exactly.
And sometimes nagkakaroon ng dissonance kasi yung sinasabi mo hindi maganda-ganda na style mo pagkatapos yung sinasabi mo hindi authentic.
Exactly.
So it's not authentic.
Yeah, when you talk about, for instance, when you talk about public officials, they keep saying that we are for the people. A public office is a public trust, and yet you don't seem to feel it. I mean,
No, that's what I always say. You watch out for people who say protect the Constitution, It is for the good of the people. Watch out. Those are the most dangerous people of all. Because they, I mean, how many? I mean, how many politicians shroud themselves, cover themselves in the flag, cover themselves in, you know, in such high noble words. That's why I'm a little bit cynical now. I mean, not a little bit, a lot. And it's really that. Why is it that when people start saying, I protect the Constitution, this is for the common good, tama ka na. You know, there's something going on here.
Everything seems to be, everybody refers, it seems, to the rule of law. The rule of law, sabi nila, let us follow the rule of law. Let us let the Senate do the legislation. And yet when they do investigations in aid of legislation, ayaw naman mag-appear ng executive to explain what they're doing. So, what is this rule of law that you're talking about? And then let me Article 11, section of the Constitution, public office is a public trust. Public officers and employees must at all times be accountable to the people. Serve them with utmost responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency, and act with patriotism and justice, and lead modest lives. In the context of these accountability provisions, how would you assess this government, Professor?
This government, I'll say it as it is, Attorney Ma'am, lacking in integrity. There is a breakdown in spirituality. The kind of society that you see right now is a very clear call from God that He is very much displeased. I believe that our God is a God of peace and order. And the reason why there is so much confusion and chaos in our country today is because God is demonstrating His extreme displeasure about the way this government is being run. I teach my students the 3 I's of communication. How do you know if you are truly communicating? How? First, am I able to inspire my people? Number 2, am I able to influence people? And number 3, am I able to impact on people? How can you inspire, influence, and impact people if the life you're leading is totally opposite with what you're saying? Like our dear professor here is saying.
No, I think
Meron silang impact.
Diba?
That's it.
Yun lang ang impact. Ang ano ko, yung one of the, and I keep saying this, one of the functions of leadership is to inspire. If you cannot inspire, do not aspire to be a leader. Diba? And I think what this country really needs is a leader who inspires, because the Filipino people have shown that when there is a vision, then we all come together and unite, because there is a vision. I mean, you look at EDSA, the first EDSA, you know, we united because we were inspired by a vision. And so when I see the country in it drifting as we are, it is because there is a lack of inspiring leadership. And if we can have that, the Filipino and the Filipina can rise, I mean, to the highest that we can rise. So it is. I think it is so sad that the kind of inspiring leadership is so absent in our national life. I find that there are very many, though, on the local level, local government officials, who are doing it better. Sometimes I think, you know, let's not look at the national anymore. Let's just look at the local. And I think you can see that the glimmer of hope is there in very many local government officials. So I mean, it's not all lost. I mean, I don't like to just paint, you know, a brush like that and say everything is lost. We're all going down the drain. Because I do see on the local level, and thank God on that